Teach me to live one day at a time with courage, love, and a sense of pride, giving me the ability to love and accept myself so I can go and give it to someone else.
Hi, welcome to the Business of Life. My name is Dr. Ariel King, and today we have a very special guest, Dr. Sherri James. Welcome, Dr. James.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So today, I would love to know more about you. Can you tell our audience more about you and what you do?
I am a family physician, currently practicing in Durham, North Carolina. However, I've been basically all over the United States, practicing in different areas of medicine. I have a special day today as it is my 60th birthday. I am also a mother of three young men. I have had my own practice, a wellness practice, for quite some time now, as well as I've worked in other areas of medicine. I'm just glad to be here. And me personally, I've had some health challenges myself. So this is how I arrived at Dr. James, the holistic health doctor.
I love it. And happy birthday to you. Thank you so much for giving us the
You.
privilege of sharing this day with you. Wonderful. So you're a mom and you yourself have dealt with all types of health issues. Can you tell us more about healthy lifestyle? What does that mean? And also about what you do in helping people to have a healthy lifestyle?
Um, I basically focus on wellness and not necessarily solely health. So wellness is more than just being free from illness. So wellness integrates the body and the mind and the spirit or what have you. So back several years ago during the pandemic, I wrote a book called Finding Wellness and Beyond. And it just started based on the George Floyd incident back in 2020. So I wanted everyone to know that we can be free from illness, but it's important for us to feel well, not only in the body, but also in the mind. So the book focused on the 8 tenets of wellness, which included physical, financial, emotional, social, those were some of the occupational wellness as well. And so from that time, since 2020, I have tailored what I do in my own practice based on these 8 tenets of wellness. So back in 2021, immediately after the pandemic, I opened a brick and mortars clinic called BMI Wellness Concepts. So BMI Wellness Concepts was actually started back in 2017. And the B and the M and the I is not necessarily your body mass index, as I don't believe in body mass index, but what it stands for is body mind integration. So we try to incorporate the entire person in helping you feel well. And how I arrived at the point where I am now, back 60 days ago, I started on a journey to 60, and I called it my journey to sexy 60. So today is my 60th birthday, and even though I called it my journey to sexy 60, is not really my journey. It is the destination, because my journey continues. And again, my motto with BMI Wellness Concepts has always been get well, be well, and stay well.
Oh, I love that. Get well, be well, and stay well. I
Yes.
love that. I love that. So can you
And then
tell
if you
us
want to
more?
go a little bit more about the get well, be well, and stay well, get well came from the fact that a while ago, I was diagnosed with some health conditions, and there were a lot of them were hereditary. So I lost my mom a few days before her 62nd birthday, and my mom had by the time she finally succumbed, diabetes and heart disease. She had had both legs amputated and a couple of strokes and a heart attack. So I knew that this was my genetic map. So I wanted to do something to change my genetic map. And because I realized all throughout my mother's family, as well as my father's family, that we had these certain illnesses that were in our family. So my goal was to turn it all around. And a lot of it was initially based on weight or obesity. We used to have a thing whenever we got together for family gatherings or family holidays. This one uncle is only 2 years older than me. My mother had 10, it was 10 of them total. So her youngest brother would always say, okay, we're sitting around the dinner table at the Buffalo Convention. And he would say, which of my sisters will join the Buffalo Convention? He called it the Buffalo Convention because as they got older, they all gained weight and their knees got bigger. So I made it a point to not become a member of the Buffalo Convention.
Oh
So that
my.
was the get well part. So I decided to do something about my diabetes, do something about my blood pressure, and do something about my cholesterol and of course my weight. So once I got to that point, right now, I think after my 60 days and arriving at my 60th birthday, I think I'm just now on the cusp of the be well stage and trying to transition over to the stay well stage. So I still have a ways to go. But when I
Yeah.
started the Sexy 60 journey, I based it on 5 principles. And the 5 principles are P's. And one P was pause. The next P was process. The third P was pivot. The fourth P was proceed. And then the fifth P, which is today, was prosper. So for the first P of pause, I decided to take a seat and reflect on what I'd done all of my life growing up, my eating habits, my exercise habits, how much sleep I got, how much water I consumed. And I realized, oh, well, there were some huge deficits. So I said, okay, well, then for like a whole week, I kept a log of everything I ate, how much exercise I did, the amount of water I drank, how much sleep I got. And then at the end of that week, I was like, oh my God, I have such great, huge room for improvement. So then I decided on going at the 30-day mark that it was time for me to pivot and adjust what I've been doing. So for 30 days, starting last month, everything was based on proceed. So I made sure I got 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Make sure I drank half my body weight in ounces of water. Make sure I walked a minimum of 6,000 steps per day, and tried with the goal of walking 10,000 steps per day. Also, made sure I cut out white bread, additional white sugar and white flour, and then try to eat a little bit healthier. And then so I arrived at today. So over that period of time, over those 30 days, I lost a total of 6 pounds and a few little inches. So I still have a
Wow.
ways to
In
go,
30
but
days.
in 30
That's
days.
amazing.
I still have a ways to go, but I'm feeling a lot better. And I'm realizing I feel good when I wake up in the morning, especially if I don't fall asleep on the couch and have to drag myself off the couch. But I'm just feeling overall much better with much more energy.
That's really fantastic. So we have the 2 Ps. What's the 3rd and 4th and 5th P? I really love these Ps.
So first P was pause, second P was process, the third P was pivot.
Okay.
And then the fourth P is proceed. And then the fifth P is prosper.
So what is the proceed P? What does that mean?
The proceed P was the different things I did every day. So the proceed P included walking a minimum of 6,000 steps per day, drinking half my body weight in ounces of water. So let's say I'm not afraid to say how much I weigh. I can start out weighing 200 pounds. So let's say so my goal is to drink at least 100 ounces of water per day, because water makes the body's metabolic processes function. And then another proceed was watching what I ate and eliminating some high calorie foods, and including
Yes.
alcoholic beverages, even though every now and then I'll celebrate. And also eliminating the proceeding with eliminating processed foods.
Yes. Yes. That's fabulous. And then
Mhm.
prosper, I guess, would be the result is what you've had. It's not just a matter of weight, as you
Yes,
said, but it's just a matter of having more energy, feeling better. It's as you said, the body and the mind. It's not just the body. That's
right.
fabulous. I
And
really
it,
love
and it
that.
took a lot to adjust the mind. So a lot of your success at anything you try has to do with mindset. So even with the first little half a pound, a few little ounces, I felt good and made me stay motivated to continue on that path. And
Oh,
I was
I mean, for 1
surprised
month, it
because
was
one of my sons
amazing.
is
1 month is
visiting.
great.
Exactly. So one of my sons is visiting for my birthday today. So I got changed into this dress. This is my first time wearing this dress, and I was so surprised that the dress even zipped up.
You look absolutely gorgeous on your 60th, your sexy 60th birthday. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So can I ask the journey that you've had yourself in BMI, body, mind, and with yourself, does
Integration.
that help you with integration? Does that help you understanding other people that come to you and ask for your assistance, not just as a physician, but as someone who's gone through it in order for them to also take the same type?
Absolutely, it does. So you can't. It's good that you practice what you preach, and that you're a product of your own teachings. So it helps so much when patients come to me. And I always tell my patients it's not just the doctor patient relationship. We're partners, and my patient appreciate the fact that I listen to some of let's say myths they may have or the way they want to do things, and I'll say, okay, my attitude is as long as you're not speeding up your death, as long as you don't kill anybody, I'm willing to listen to you and try anything, and you'll find that they really appreciate that, and I think they appreciate the fact that that I'm going through some of the same challenges that they have. And so I can show them tried and true ways. Now, I haven't always been this way. Sometimes I have my moments where I just can't pick it up or gotta get it going, and I feel down and demotivated. I'm trying to encourage myself. So everybody goes through this, and I think it
Right.
helps and it makes me feel good to know that when a patient is sharing with me some of their most intimate secrets or concerns, I can look back and I can look back on my own life and say, been there, done that. But I still try not to be overbearing and sharing my experiences and let them get it out first. And then I'll say, well, you might want to try this. You're not alone. I've been there, done that. So even on my birthday on Friday, one of the front desk the medical personnel, the medical assistants. So she got me this beautiful card and said, "Thank you so much for your motherly teachings and your words of encouragement and your hilarious attitude." So I said, "Okay, well, thank you." Yeah.
It makes a big difference, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Hmm.
You,
Absolutely.
I mean, you've done so much in your life with all of your experiences, and how does that affected you being a mom to three young men? And have they seen your journey? And how do you think it might affect them in the future, seeing your journey?
Uh, so I got a beautiful card from them, a birthday card from them today, and again, each one of them said in their section of the card, "Thank you for being such an inspiration." So it almost brought tears to my eyes to know that. So one son was saying, "Okay, this really started a long time ago. I'm so glad to see you're keeping this up." And then sometimes they may say, "Oh, okay, yeah, mom, yeah, right, mom. How many times have you said this?" Blah blah blah. So I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna prove it to you." So my actions speak louder than my words. So it feels good when they say, "Mom, you look good." And again, you sound good. You sound so much happier. And I'm so glad to see you at this point in your life. And so I know my sons, they are all three of my athletes. They're all exercise holics, but I think they know that what their genetic makeup is. So they're bound to not be another statistic. And so they motivate me. Every time I talk to them, somebody's at the gym, somebody's juicing, or it's like, okay, I guess I need to get on board.
I think it's a circle within the family. You motivate them and you inspire them, and they inspire you. Remember, you're the mother first, and you're the one that got them into those athletics, and you're the one that was there helping them with that. And so I think that the family helps each other. That's really fantastic, really fantastic. Can I ask you, can you tell us do you have any stories, for example, of I would say, patients or partners that you've had and how they went from one point to another using your system of BMI?
Uh, Let me see if I can think of any offhand. There are quite a few. Um, well, I have this. Of course, I can't use any names. I have
No, you can make up a
this one
name. It's
lady.
good enough.
So she's in her 70s, and she wrote me the most beautiful. I'll tell two stories. So this lady's doing this most beautiful thank you for listening to her and partnering with her and helping her to get better. So she had an episode where she was very depressed, and others took it as her wanting to take her life. So I had a talk with her. She was even hospitalized in a psychiatric hospital for a few days. So I had to speak with the doctor there to let them know what was really going on, blah, blah, blah. But then trying to, she was having issues too with getting her blood sugar under control. So it was like a medical and a psychiatric uh, challenge. So she pulled out of it after about a good week or two, and she has been ever so grateful and thankful for me listening to her and looking at what's going on with her blood sugars and her blood pressures, to realize that some of her psychiatric issues had to do with her blood sugar as well. So we got her back on track. Now, to
That's
tell another story
amazing.
too, like I was in residency. This is what, ooh, sad to say, about 30 plus years ago. But in any event. So I was in residency, and there's this one lady, it was another elderly female, who kept coming back and forth to the emergency room. And so all the other residents and the doc and the attendings, they just kept blowing her off. Oh, what is she in here for? What is she in here for? Blah, 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 blah. So I sat there and I just listened to her. And then she says, I get a headache every day at this certain time. So I said, so what are you doing every day at this certain time? Come to find out, sometimes when you come in the emergency room, your blood pressure is really high. When we give you put a blood pressure medicine that comes so like a little gel liquid in a little capsule, we will puncture the capsule and put the liquid up under your tongue so to rapidly lower your blood pressure. Well, she had been to the emergency room so many times to lower her blood pressure, she decided she would do this at home herself. So she would take a safety pin and poke a hole in the little pill and put the liquid up under her tongue. So it would lower her blood pressure to the point of where she would get a headache the same time every day. But all it took was listening to what her daily routine was to realize what the issue was.
That's amazing.
So I still have it to this day. She made me a homemade angel for my Christmas tree. So I
That's
still have
so
it to this
kind.
day.
So
Yeah.
that actually allows me to understand how you came up with this body and mind integration, and that it's been a part of your journey as a healer and as a physician for many, many years. And it does make sense that the mind affects the body, but more importantly, the body truly does affect the mind. So to
Absolutely.
have that integration of both makes all the difference.
And it's so important as caregivers or healers or physicians that we listen to our patients. And I have this thing on one of my bedroom walls. It's a quote from I assume I'm saying this correctly, Desiderata. And there's one line in there that says, everybody has their story, even the vain and it's one other word. I think they may use the word ignorant. I hate that word, but that's my thing. Everybody has a story. Just listen. Let a person tell their story, and let them allow you to help them decipher their story and to see how they can turn their story around. That is, if they want help. Some people just want somebody to listen to them, and that's fine too.
That's a very good point. Sometimes people don't want a solution. They just want you to hear what they have to say and they want you to hear what they're going through. But that's part of
Hmm.
the body mind too, isn't it? Because sometimes people feel that they're not heard and
Hmm.
they go to the doctor to be heard. And once they heard, then maybe they can actually go to whatever step that they need to after being heard. So that's just as important.
And it reminds me of another story. This was my oldest is 26, even though according to his birthday card, he thinks he's still 25. Anyway, he's 26. And I remember when he was a sophomore in college, he calls me at 2 o'clock in the morning and he's crying on the phone. I said, "What is going on?" He says, "Mom, don't try to fix it, just listen to me." So he told me the story of what had happened to his friend who had just had a paranoid schizophrenic episode and wound up in a psychiatric hospital again. So my son was like, he loved his friend dearly, so he just wanted someone to listen to him and listen to his concerns, listen to him cry. And that's when I realized, as a mother, definitely as a doctor, we're always trying to fix it. And that's when I realized everything doesn't need fixing. It only needs fixing if you decide you want to fix it.
What a great, that's so true. And maybe quote unquote fixing it is just listening and being there and experience this with me. I want you to know what's happening to me. I want you to know what's happening for me. And that makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Hmm.
So perhaps even with your BMI, right, body mind integration, it's really just a matter of being a good human being that's also a physician.
Yep. Absolutely. And then nowadays too, people are steering away from synthetic medicines and more of a holistic approach. I am all for that. So I go back to several years ago. I took myself off a thyroid medication, two blood pressure medications, an anemia medication, and a diabetes medication. So I was taking five different medicines. And again, I realized, I can do this. I don't need all of this. So I figured the pharmaceutical companies were just making a killing, and everybody had a hand in my health and in my decisions. So I said something has got to be done. There has to be a better way. So that's the vision or the mission of BMI Wellness Concepts, is to educate people and improve health literacy so you can take care of some of your own issues yourself.
I think you're absolutely amazing. And I've learned so much from you. And I'm sure that our audience has learned so much from you too. Do you have any last thoughts or any last words you'd like to tell our audience about this body mind integration?
Uh, I would say um, you can do it. And also, never let a certain thing like my birthday, 60, be your final destination. So life is a journey, not just a pit stop or a destination.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you for Dr. Sherri James, and her company is Body Mind Integration. And she also has a book. Can you please show us your book? And we'll
Yes,
also
I
put it in the
can.
chat so people can. And where can we find it?
You can find it on
Beautiful.
Amazon. What's
Yes.
the Barnes and Noble bookstore? So
Wonderful.
it's a quick read. It has worksheets in here. It's a wonderful book, if I should say so myself. And then also, if you're into social media or Facebook, I got started a Facebook group called Holistic Health Tips with Dr. J. So just go on there
Wonderful.
and join that Facebook group. And what we focus on is every so many days a week, we focus on different holistic tips. For example, I did something on I don't know how many people participate in the New Year's tradition of collard greens and black eyed peas. So I did a quick blurb on the benefit and the real reason we collard greens and black eyed peas, how it lowers your LDL or bad cholesterol, improves your HDL or good cholesterol, also keeps your arteries from clogging up and prevents heart attacks and strokes. So just little things like that, to tell you the everyday things you can do to help with your health and wellness.
Thank you. You have so many resources for people out there. So that's wonderful. Not only just your book, but also you have a Facebook group. We're going to be putting that within the chat of the business of life. And Dr. Sherri James, I want to thank you for being with us. I've learned so much today, and it's really been a privilege to speak with you in your sexy 60s and your birthday. Happy birthday to you. All the best to your wonderful sons. And I want to thank our audience for joining us today. And remember, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I'm only for myself, what am I? If not now, then when? That's Hillel. And I always say, if not me, then who? Thank you for joining us. We'll see you the next
Mhm.
time.